welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Yeah, this is part 2. Let's do it.
Alright. I gotta ask this question. Okay. This is a great call, and then what does this event say about merging the WEC into the UFC?
Merging the WEC into the UFC has been a hot topic, hot button topic for a while. This card is following what's seen as some pretty disastrous CFC 119. This really shows one thing. Like, pretty much you had Mir versus Crow Cop. Originally it was supposed to be Mir versus Antonio Rodrigo Minotauro Nogueira. Okay, you add, say you had the bantamweight and featherweight divisions in the UFC. Well, now you can have a Jose Aldo main event and
that's good.
Title fight. I mean, one thing is, the people that are against it, one thing that people say is with the lighter weights, the only person in MMA that is really a draw is BJ Penn. And Uriah Faber in a way too, because, he definitely helped sell the 200,000 pay-per-views for that WEC pay-per-view. But, you look at Manny Pacquiao, he's a very lightweight guy. And even Floyd Money Mayweather Jr., smaller guy, selling the pay-per-views. It's not inconceivable for smaller weights to sell pay-per-views. That's the thing. It is possible. Charisma goes a long way. If you have the charisma, and if you are a good fighter, especially if you're a champion, like Uriah Faber was, or Miguel Torres was, yes, people will pay to see you. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you can draw people in, doesn't matter what weight you are, people will get drawn in. I mean, that's just the way it works, Obviously, the larger weight guys, being so big, being almost larger than life, they have an easier time. A guy like a Brock Lesnar or something, he's, just his look alone sells, in a way, Carlin's like that. You have Shane Carlin versus Brock Lesnar, and, you're just like, whoa, these two big guys are going to go at it. Cool. I'll put down $45. I mean, I'm overgeneralizing right now, but with the lighter weight guys, they're young, really fun to watch. So they already have that going for them, that they are fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Now it just goes with the charisma.
Absolutely.
Are these guys charismatic enough? And yeah, if they're in the UFC, now they're given a platform to showcase themselves and their talent. So, and if you got the right marketing, hey, just the word champion, just the word title says a lot. It elevates you. It's a sell for you. It's a way to sell a guy. Jose Aldo, dominant champion, top 5 pound for pound fighter. Oh, well, I better go pay and watch this guy. You know what I mean? That's just marketing. That's just from marketing.
Absolutely.
They can sell these guys. The other thing is that people will say is like, there's already 5 weight classes in the UFC. Do you think you're going to confuse the audience with 2 more, a featherweight and bantamweight? Maybe you will, but it's one of those sacrifices you have to take. I don't think you will, to be honest. Mm-hmm. If they can't follow it, then they don't follow it. It is what it is, obviously. Mm-hmm. But for those that do, you just got more fan. It's like, oh, these lighter guys are so cool. But the point is, like, I don't think it's such a huge problem, though. I mean, for the possibility of confusing the audience to gain, you already gained 2 headliners. You know what I mean? And like Jose Aldo and the champion of the bantamweight division. Yes, you have to get the audience to know these divisions. Hey, that's what Fight Night's for. That's what UFC on Versus is for. That's what the free cards on free pay-per-views on Spike are for. You can use these guys. Hey, Why not have Jose Aldo versus Manny Gambarian instead of Michael Bisping versus Yoshihiro Akiyama? Hey, that's pretty cool. You gave a free title fight, and you're showcasing this new weight class. Obviously, I think it's a great idea to do it. I mean, the UFC, not the WC, not just Zuffa, but the UFC should have the best fighting under their umbrella. I mean, Jose Aldo is one of the best fighters in the world. Hey, why not showcase him? Why not give these guys more money? Obviously, there's a lot of legal issues, and there's also the issue of card space, of why it can't happen right now, and that's the thing that kind of sucks. You're already fitting in 11 cards into like fight nights, sometimes even as much as 13. You're adding all these new fighters now. The UFC just doesn't have enough card space at the time. They want more cards for a reason, So you don't have like 6, 7, 8 fights on the undercard, 4 fights, 5 fights on the main card. You're adding 2 new divisions and whatever lightweights they have into the UFC. That's a lot of card space. That the UFC can get rid of some fighters, but it's still a lot of card space to fit all these guys in, and put some on the main card. Who do you put on the main card? Who do you put on the prelims? How do you get these prospects in other divisions to come up? I mean, it's still kind of a big mess. I would like to see it. I trust Joe Silva and Dana White and the UFC to find a way if they ever merge. But as of right now, there's still a lot of problems with doing it, but it is something I'd like to see.
Well, just give our audience, in case some people didn't know the backstory, WEC and UFC, they are the same.
They're under the Zuffa umbrella. Okay, the UFC is obviously the biggest fight organization out there. The WC is a sister promotion that has the lightweight, featherweight, and bantamweight divisions.
Cool.
Universally, most people recognize the WC as having the best featherweights and bantamweights. Japan has some good ones as well, Marlon Sandro and whatnot, but overall, most people see the WC as having the best. One thing that a lot of fans don't like is because they're on the WC and on Versus, these smaller weights do not get paid as much. They don't get as much exposure. Therefore, if they're in the UFC, they'll get a lot more exposure, a lot more sponsorship money, and they'll get paid more.
But they are under the same umbrella, basically the same legal entity.
Yeah, Zuffa. They're the main company.
They're the main company.
Yeah.
So just 2 different divisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So again, let me get your final answer. So you are poor for merging WEC to the UFC.
Yeah, the way everyone has their own way of wanting to do this. I would like to see the WEC be a farm league, a feeder league to the UFC. Let's put the prospects into the WEC. Let's put some of these veterans, the Mac Danzigs and whatnot, because there's still high quality fighters out there that aren't quite the UFC level.
Okay.
Maybe you can put them into the feeder league, get them some wins, bring him back up. Maybe you can do something like that. So you don't lose. There's a lot of good fighters out there that they lost that they didn't really have to lose. Like Teles Ladies is a really good fighter.
Okay.
Despite his performance against Anderson. Okay, he's out there now, not getting paid as much. He just lost to Matt Horwick. Matt Horwick, another good fighter. It's like it's the whole idea of becoming the NFL, to truly become the NFL of MMA. You know what I mean? Having the best, only the best, under the Zuffa umbrella. You know what I mean? Not like MFC has, Teles Ladies. They have, some new guys. Why not bring them into the feeder league? Why not bring in your Jesse Taylors? Why not bring in, your Ryan, get Ryan Jimmo? It's like, it's another way for Zuffa to really bring out in these new prospects, and also, I guess in a way, get rid of the competition in a way too. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. You know, but yeah. I would really like to see WC as a feeder league, and to put the bantamweight and featherweight division, and possibly the flyweight division in the future into the UFC.
I think we have a lot to say about this. Maybe later on you can do article more detail about this. Now let's go for the cards, and I leave this all to you. Okay?
No problem, man. Okay. Yeah, let's just, I'll start from the bottom with the prelims and go to the top. Demetrius Johnson beat Nick Pace by unanimous decision. Really happy that Demetrius Johnson won. He is a small bantamweight, but he is very good. He's very explosive. He has that sense of urgency that I like with a lot of fighters. When he's on the bottom, he wants to get up. And he knows how to get up, too. A lot of people don't know how to use an underhook, don't know how to create space, or are too content on the bottom. Demetrius Johnson is not one of those guys. So, good to see him win. This card is really cool because a lot of the winners of this card could probably fight the winners, other winners in a future card, Seeing Demetrius Johnson versus Antonio Banuelos, who won his fight by unanimous decision against Chad George, wouldn't be a bad fight, for 135. Banuelos, good win for him. He fought really well against Scott Jorgensen, who is a contender. Actually, he's the next guy fighting for the title. I always found Banuelos to be a really good fighter. Good win for him. Chad George, he's lost to Jorgensen, if I'm not mistaken, and he's lost to Banuelos. I don't know if he's going to stay in the WEC or not. It's tough to say. Nick Pace, who just lost to Demetrius Johnson, is a contender, is a prospect, and I do expect him to be him back in the WEC pretty soon, actually. So yeah, this is it for part 2 of the WEC 51 post-fight analysis. Please join us for part 3 after the jump. Thanks.